Hello, hello, and welcome. Today we're talking all about how to eliminate self-doubt. Yes, I did say in an afternoon, but what it is, I'm going to teach you how to do that, how to eliminate self-doubt in a week, in an afternoon. Anyways, if you're new to me and new to my message, I'm Condi Bartlett, and I'm a modern mystic out of Portland, Oregon. I help women entrepreneurs define and manifest the life and business of their dreams. And what does that mean? I know it sounds kind of a little bit too fluffy, right? Well, it means I help people 10x their income, become completely happy in their life, and feel fulfilled. So I'm checking to see here why this is okay. There we go. I don't see any comments here. So if you're here with me live, let me know that you're here. I would love to say hello. So I've got my iPad over here so I can catch comments as we're going. So there are three shifts, or actually three things you really have to look at when you're deciding to eliminate self-doubt. And here's some reasons why you may be here today. Okay. You may feel stuck in your business or your life. You may be questioning every single decision that you make, whether it's in your business or in your personal life. You may be really hard pressed to make a decision because there's so much self-doubt. And you just may feel incredibly restricted and unhappy. So when I meet a client who is dealing with a lot of self-doubt, I know the first thing that we really have to work on is self-love. And it's kind of a red flag. If you're dealing with a lot of self-doubt, it means there are places within yourself that you really don't love. And that's okay. So if you're here with me live or you're on the recording, here's a question for you. Who here has struggled with self-doubt? Raise a hand or put a 1 in the comments. Notice I'm raising my hand because I used to be riddled with self-doubt. I used to not feel very confident. I used to say things like, who's going to listen to me? Who wants to learn from me? Who can I help? Well, the thing is, I've helped hundreds and thousands of people shift their lives into a much happier existence and experience. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, if you're here and you're tired of negative self-talk or feeling like you can't accomplish anything, then you know it's time for a change. And it doesn't even have to take long to do this work. It does take a little bit of commitment, and it takes some time and effort, and it takes some self-awareness, right? So the first thing that we're going to look at is really reframing and shifting your past. Now, this is something that has to get taken care of and looked at, because there are places within your past. Actually, most of what you're doing today, the reason that you feel stuck, started in your past. So there are things probably that you're avoiding looking at because it's too painful. I think it's too painful not to look at these things and to keep struggling and to keep being triggered day in and day out by the things that happened in the past, whether it's a painful memory of something that happened, or it's a trauma that happened, or it's whatever it is, negative emotions that keep flooding into your experience. Now is the best time. Today is the best time to start shifting this for yourself. So a lot of things, well, usually where I start when I'm working with clients one-on-one is self-forgiveness. And the thing is, people don't know how to do any of this stuff. They don't know how to neutralize negative feelings or emotions or traumas. That's not something we're ever taught. That happens to be my expertise, is helping people shift out of their past, releasing the negative impact, the punch in the gut from memories, from trauma, from whatever, and setting themselves free. What happens when we let go of those things from the past is that it frees us to be present in this moment and really actually start to be happy in our lives. So there may be things that you don't want to face, you don't want to look at. If you've had trouble with your finances, but you don't want to look at your finances, you don't want to manage your finances, you want to avoid your finances. This last week, I went through, actually, the last couple of weeks, I was working with a client who has had financial trouble. And I said, we really need to get your finances pulled together so we can look at that whole picture. And she fought me. She was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to deal with this. It's better off I just, I'm just going to let it go. And so it took a little bit of work, but she finally got the numbers. She finally understood where she was spending her money. And she understood why I pressed so hard on her to do it, because she felt more confident about her finances. And she felt more in control. And she felt like she was able to manage them in a capable way. So this is huge, to start looking at things that you've been avoiding. And sometimes you may not want to do that alone. You may want someone to come and help you, right? That's one of the reasons I do what I do, is because I take people by the hand and guide them through that process in a really quick way that's not painful. And yeah, we're going to talk about things you want to avoid. We're going to feel the feelings, and then we're going to neutralize whatever it is and get on the other side of it. So this doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't have to be hard to make a transformation, to shift out of your past and into the present, being here now. So just drop an aha or a 1 in the comments if you can relate to that, if that made sense to you, if that was like a golden nugget for you. I've got more. So the second thing that we're going to talk about is shifting your self-talk, shifting the messages that you're saying to yourself. And I want to give an example of a client that I had who was an interior designer. Her name was Ellen, and she actually was able to get 30 clients in 1 month, and also land a $60,000 sale, and also get like a commission of a whole stream of condos to design. So that all came out of our work together. But here was some of her self-talk. She definitely felt like she could never be happy. Like she was supposed to struggle, like she had to sacrifice in order to be successful. That was required sacrifice. And she had to work hard to be successful. And so what happened as a result of that is she kind of became a workaholic, and she had no life outside of work. And then work wasn't going so well. When she first came to see me, she was really doing terribly in her business. And that all started to shift when we started to look at her self-talk, look at the limiting beliefs that were there. And all of those things were coming out of what the experiences that happened in her past. There was a divorce. There was a bad relationship with her father, who thought she was an idiot, who was demeaning to her, who made her feel like she wasn't enough and she wasn't smart and she'd never be smart. So our self-talk, we need to really start looking at what that is and just start listening to what you may be saying outside of yourself, to yourself, or even your thoughts. Start questioning what you're thinking, because a lot of it is not true. Just like for her, I'll never be happy. By the end of our time together, she was incredibly happy, and she couldn't even believe that she ever thought that she couldn't be happy. So I think it's really a difference in perception that can happen. Like huge shifts can come out of just making teeny tiny changes. And I see this over and over and over again with my clients, like Ellen, who had like this huge transformation, not just in her own happiness, in her own personal life, in her relationships with her family, but in her business. Like all this money started flooding into her when she started cleaning up this other stuff that was in the way, that was causing her to doubt herself, doubt her worth, doubt her value in the world, right? It can run really deep. So self-doubt is really something that is serious. And it's one of the three things that I see with women entrepreneurs that really has to get addressed and reframed and kind of reprogrammed into confidence, right? So that you feel rock solid in who you are. So, who's already gotten what they needed here today? Who's already heard the thing that they really needed to hear? It's really weird. I cannot see any comments here. So I know there's probably people commenting. I'm sorry, because I'm going through StreamYard. I can't see the comments. And I thought this was going to work on my iPad, but it's not. Anyways, it's all a learning experience, right? Even with self-doubt, we're always learning things about ourselves. And the thing is to be really compassionate and loving and kind when you do this work, because you can't beat yourself up and transform into someone better. If that were true, it would have already worked, right? So number 3 is to really start taking action on becoming self-aware, on questioning what your thoughts are, and start taking action on making changes to make your life better. You're the one that's in charge here. You're in the driver's seat, right? Climb on over you're in the back seat, climb over and get in the driver's seat, and let's get going. Let's start creating the life that you really dream of. And let's get unstuck. Let's move forward. Let's create some momentum. Let's start really creating the life that you deserve, right? That's the thing. So the last thing is awareness and action. So when you, this is like something that I teach in my one-on-one program. And it is a 3-step process. So there's awareness, there's acceptance, and then there's release. And this is what I teach people when they're working with me. I don't do all the work. I help people clear things really quickly. But the thing is, I teach them these tools so that they're empowered to make the changes, because they're with themselves 24/7. I'm not there. Although sometimes people say, yes, I am. They hear my voice in their head, and sometimes I am there, actually, with them. So, awareness, acceptance, release, and start taking control of what you're thinking, what beliefs come up, and especially take a look at what's not working right now. What's not working in your life? Start writing down what that is. If it's your business, maybe you don't have enough revenue. If it's your personal life, maybe your relationships are struggling. What's not working? Are you taking care of yourself? That may not be working. Your self-care may be lacking, right? What's not working? And when you start looking at what's not working, I know this sounds kind of funny, it helps you see what the contrast is. It's like, oh, that's sort of what I've manifested so far. And the good news is, if that's what you've manifested so far and it's not working and you don't like it, hurrah, because you can change it, right? That's just all the thoughts and beliefs and energy that you've put into manifesting things so far. So start putting new things in, start thinking different thoughts about yourself. I am capable. I am worthy. I am enough, right? Success gets to be easy. Money is easy for me. Money keeps flowing to me. I am totally supported and have all the resources that I desire. Those kind of thoughts, and start saying those things to yourself and out loud to yourself, and start shifting your energy, because you are in charge of what you're manifesting, right? And self-doubt has a way of taking over and just crippling everything, paralyzing any success that you might be having, wrecking any chance of happiness. So I say, this is like one of the number one things we have to pay attention to is really eliminating self-doubt. And transforming that into confidence can be easier than you think, and it can take a very short amount of time. As a matter of fact, people, when they start working with me in my 3-month program, my private program, they're astounded. Even within the first couple of weeks, they are already transforming and thinking differently about what's possible in their lives. And that's one of the things that I love to see, and I love to experience, and I love to participate in. So if that's something that's calling to you, if you know right now that you're tired of trying to do this all alone, that you're tired of struggling or sacrificing yourself or working longer hours or feeling like you're on the verge of burnout, right? Or trying to do the hustle kind of culture, then I'm going to invite you to schedule a connection call with me, which is a free service that I provide. It's a 20-minute long visit with me. And what we do is we look at what your heart's desire is. What is it you're longing to manifest that you haven't yet? What's been in your way? And then I give you some steps to actually manifest it. Now, there are no strings attached. I do this with people all the time, and they're astounded at the results that they get just with the free advice I'm giving you. You may never hire me. It's okay. This is what I do is not for everyone. It's only for a brave few who are actually willing and ready to do this work, who are ready for me to take them by the hand and guide them, teach them how to live a better life, how to show up and be authentic, how to release the shackles of the past, how to reduce anxiety and stress and all of that. So if any of that is calling to you, I have put a link into the description here. You can click it and schedule a free connection call with me. If at the end of our time together, I feel like we're a fit, I will invite you to work with me. But there's never any pressure to do that. So anyways, let me recap where we've been today. We have talked about the 3 steps to eliminate self-doubt. And the first one is to shift your past and reframe it, and to really start looking at things that you've been avoiding. And you know what they are, right? You know what you're avoiding. And if you don't, you're going to start to pay attention now that you've heard this message, right? So number 2 is to shift your self-talk and to really pay attention to what garbage talk you may be saying to yourself, and do it in a loving way. Yeah. And then the third thing is to look at what's not working and start to become self-aware and kind of grow and expand your self-awareness so that you can take action to make changes, to be happier, to be confident, and to be prosperous and wealthy. So anyways, that's it for today. If you have questions, feel free to send me a message. I'd be happy to chat with you in a connection call too. So that's it for today. And I will be back again with another installment of goodness to help you really manifest what it is you desire so you can show up and make the impact in the world that you were born to make. Thank you for joining me today. And for those of you who are here live on the replay, drop your questions in the comments and I will get back to you. So thank you very much, and I'll be back again. Have a great week. Bye.